And joining us now is NewsNation travel contributor Peter Greenberg. Peter, thank you so much for being here. And we know the airlines are already struggling with staffing this summer. Now employees are being pushed to the edge. Could this all end up causing more travel chaos down the line, do you think?
Well, it already has, because anytime you have a problem in the air, it often results in a diversion of the plane. That means misconnected passengers, misconnected bags, crew being out of sequence. It costs the airlines a big five-figure every time that happens. But we have to go back to some of the root causes, whether it's in the United States or overseas. In many of these cases, they're alcohol related. People getting drunk at the airports before they ever board the flight. In cases in Europe, one airline has actually banned all alcohol sales at the airport, because they don't want people taking it on the plane and drinking their own. That's where the fights break out. Now, short of putting breathalyzers at the jetways, there are some solutions that can be instituted, but it's going to take some federal intervention, or at the state level, some regulatory intervention by the authorities. So far, that hasn't happened. You mentioned about only 6 cases referred to the FBI this year. It's even worse than that. Very few people ever get arrested. Very few people go to jail, and the fines in many cases have not been excessive. You may remember back in 2020, when so many people were officially banned from flying on airlines. That was all about not wanting to wear masks. They were banned for life. Well, you know how long that ban lasted? About a year, and the airlines quietly reached out to those passengers with very few exceptions and invited them back if they promised to behave.
So to your point, Peter, at what point could airlines or even TSA step up consequences for unruly passengers?
Well, there's one thing they could do at airports, and that's institute what I call the NFL fourth quarter alcohol rule. And that is, it's tied to your boarding pass. No retail establishment at the airport can sell any alcohol to any passenger within 45 minutes of the boarding time printed on their boarding pass. That would eliminate a lot of the problems. The other thing is this: flight attendants are not police, and they do encourage passengers to help out in situations like this. It may surprise you to know that on every airplane flying, at least in the U.S., the flight attendants carry with them plastic zip tie handcuffs, and passengers have often been lashed to the bottom of their seats to restrain them until the plane can land.
And just into our newsroom, the New York Post has identified the passenger in that viral tirade Evan Lambert mentioned. So we do have that there. My question to you, Peter, would be, in terms of all of these incidents, if you find yourself in the middle of a situation like this, obviously it's uncomfortable. What is your best advice for passengers?
Well, we learned a very important and tragic lesson at 9/11, and that is passengers have to take control. They have to help out. And in this situation, we are seeing passengers helping out. Because some of these people cannot be restrained by one flight attendant or by one person. They have to literally be tackled on the ground and restrained. Again, a lot of these problems can be avoided earlier if they just instituted that alcohol sales rule. You'd have at least 60% of those cases not happening at all.
And do you think that that is the big thing that airlines should be doing? Anything else they can do to mitigate some of these incidents?
Well, that the announcement from the American Airlines pilot the other day was quite comical, but it does prove the point that people need to be better behaved. The thing is, it's one thing to be in an aluminum cylinder at 35,000 feet. And when you add alcohol to that and somebody else has problems, or somebody who's either not on their medication or has taken too many medications, you have a problem. Again, you can't put breathalyzers at the jetway. You can't do a background check on every passenger, but you have to do some homework ahead of time. That's going to anger some airport retailers, of course, because they want to make money as concessionaires. But I think public safety takes precedence here.
Absolutely. I think you'd be in the majority with that comment. Peter Greenberg, thank you as always for joining us.
Thank you for watching. Go to newsnationnow.com to find NewsNation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.